everyone, it's Darla. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, I would love for you to subscribe and hit the bell. I have crochet tutorials every now and then, and I have yarn hauls, etc, etc. So today is a crochet tutorial. This is called the Scarfy Shrug. Now I use Scarfy yarn, which has wool in it, so if you're allergic to wool, you probably won't want to use it. Well, you won't want to use it, right? So it is considered a bulky 5, but that's because of the halo that's on it. So I would say a medium 4 weight would work for this crochet project. So let's get started. For this shrug, I used the Lion brand Scarfy. It is 150 gram ball, 312 yards, and I used about 2.5 balls. It's a bulky 5. It's 78% acrylic, 22% wool. You do not have to use this yarn, of course, if you're allergic to wool. The recommended hook size is a 6.5 millimeter, but I used an 8 because I wanted it a little more flowy, a little more loose. And this color is pink silver. And there will be a picture right here somewhere. This is where you start your chain for your shrug. And this will actually be the length of your shrug. Okay, from your neck down to your waist or your butt or however long you want it to be. So this is going to be your length, the short side. Mine measures 31 inches across. You make your rows, long, 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 long. I made 74 rows. So the long side measures 41 inches. So it's about 10 inches more than this side across. Okay, remember this is the length of your shrug. And then as you work down and down and down and down, that will be the part that wraps around your back and your front and your arms. All right. So again, mine measures 31 inches, and that's from my neck to the length I wanted it. And then the long part measures 41 inches, and that's what wraps around you. And I made 74 rows. That's counting the first row of single crochets and then double crochets, and then your 3 repeat rows, 74 in total. All right, let's start on our Scarfy Shrug. So what we want is we want to chain an even number plus 1. So my shrug, I did a chain of 84 plus 1. And for this swatch, I'm going to chain 14 plus 1. And use an 8 millimeter hook. All right, so I'm going to do my even number of chains plus 1. Okay, I did the 14 plus 1. Okay, so for row 1, we're going to put a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So 1 and 2. Single crochet in there, and then a single crochet all the way across the chain. When you get to the end, you will have, in this case, 14 stitches. Whatever your even number is, you will have that when you get to the end of the chain. And when you get to the end of the chain, you're going to chain, or the end of the single crochet row, you're going to chain 1, and you'll be chaining 1 at the end of every row. Almost there. Okay, one more to go. Let's double check. 1, I'm going to put it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Okay, now we chain 1. We turn our work. So this is row 2. We do a double crochet in the first stitch. So this is the very first stitch here. So let's just do a double crochet in that stitch. Double crochet, and then we're going to do a double crochet in every stitch to the end of the row. And you're still going to have your even number that you started off with, or what's in the single crochet row. The next row will be a little different than this one. But let's just finish our double crochets all the way to the end, including the end stitch. Okay, I just have 2 more to go. Okay, we're at the end. So let's put our last double crochet in there, and then we're going to chain 1 like we do at every row, at the end of every row. So now we're going to row 3, and we are going to do a half double crochet in this very first stitch right here. So let's do that. Half double crochet, and then we're chaining 1. And then we're going to skip a stitch, go into the next one with a half double crochet, chain 1. Skip a stitch, go into the next one with a half double crochet, chain 1. Skip a stitch, go in the next one with a half double crochet, chain 1. Skip a stitch, go in the next one with a half double crochet, chain 1. Skip a stitch, go in the next one with a half double crochet, chain 1. Skip a stitch, go into the next double crochet with a half double crochet, and this is where we do not chain 1 after the half double crochet. We just go ahead and make 1 more half double crochet in that very end stitch, and then we chain 1 and turn our work. Okay, now this is row 4. We're going to do a double crochet in this very first stitch. Double crochet. And then we're going to go into this chain 1 space and we're going to put 2 double crochets in there. That's 1 and 2. Go into the next chain 1 space, put 2 double crochets in there. Two double crochets. Go in the next chain 1 space, put 2 double crochets in there. The next one, the same thing, 2 double crochets. The next chain 1 space, put 2 double crochets in there. Okay, we have 1 chain 1 space left. So let's count. We have 1 double crochet right in the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're going to put 2 in that very last chain 1 space, 2 double crochets. So that's 12, 13. And then in that very last stitch, we're going to put 1 double crochet. So we have the same amount of stitches as we had in the when we did our single crochet row. Okay, so we've done row 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now we're going to do row 5. So we've chained our 1. I'm going to pull out some more yarn here. Okay, now we're going to put a double crochet in each stitch all the way along this row, starting with this one right here. So double crochet. So you will have an even amount, of course, because you have had the correct amount in the row before. So I will have 14. Yes, just a reminder, with my actual garment I had chained 84 plus 1. So okay, that was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then put 1 in that very last stitch. So then that's 14. So that was row 5. Okay, now row 3, 4, and 5 are our repeat rows. So the rows where we did the half double crochets and then the 2 double crochets into the chain 1 spaces and then the double crochet in the top of each double crochet. So that's row 3, 4, and 5, which are our repeat rows. Now the measurement of this swatch is 5 across by almost 3 down. All right, now how do we sew this together to get the sleeves? We'll put the right side away from us. Actually, when you work back and forth like this, some people say there is no right side. It's just whatever side that you like best. To me, they look pretty much the same. So how do you sew it together? You take the short side and you fold it like that. You fold it like a triangle. And then you just start whip stitching it. Baby, what's the matter? I just tie it. I tie it in a knot. And you just whip stitch, meaning you just go through the loops, back and forth. I believe that's what a whip stitch is. And I'm going to go like maybe a half, not even halfway. And this is going to be part of the sleeve, or this will be the sleeve. And then you do the same with the other end. So I think maybe I'll go maybe a third of the way. We'll see if I need to do it longer. Then you make a knot, and then you'll just be sewing your ends in. So do that with the other end, with the short end. Now I tried it on and I decided I wanted to sew the sleeves halfway. Sorry, this is where my arm would go through. And then I sewed down here halfway instead of like a third of a way. There's a different way you can sew this together where you don't have to put it into a triangle. You just fold your garment in half so that your short end is right in front of you, and you sew halfway or a third of the way, however far you want to sew it to make your sleeve, and this space is where your arm goes into. And it is actually not your shoulder, but it is your lower arm that will have to fit through here. And this is the opening here. You sew up from the opening to the opening where your arm will go, and then this is the fold that well, you'll see when you may have already seen it when I modeled it at the beginning of this video. I don't want to make it seem too complicated because it really isn't. Okay, this is your other sleeve at the other end.